I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jackie. Welcome back to Dumb Witch Club.
Dumb Witch Club.
I know, I feel like I said that with such enthusiasm.
You did. I loved it.
Welcome back. You're back. We're back. We're back. We're here. Why are we so excited? Are we excited because this is a... what is it?
It's a... What the
Cusp? Yes, what the Cusp? Gemini-Cancer Cusp.
Yes.
Edition.
Yes. Well, no wonder we're like all discombobulated.
Well, you know, we're just sort of like flying real high and just all in our fields.
Yeah, we're like both. We're up here. We're down here. We don't even know.
I know. Anyway, we're going to get to all of that.
Yeah, we're going to get to all of that. It's been a weird day.
It has been a weird day. And before we do, love to introduce this deck for our card pull today.
I love it.
This is the Oracle of Mystical Moments by Katrin Wellsine. And it is lovely. I've had this deck. We've used it before. And it has very, very beautiful art and imagery.
It's perfect for this.
It's perfect for this. I feel like Gemini-Cancer Cusp would absolutely love a mystical moment.
No, 100%.
So I'm going to have you do the poll. Is that okay?
Oh my goodness, yes it is.
All right.
Come on, transformation.
Oh my God, please.
Just kidding.
No.
Just kidding.
I mean, whatever. I will accept whatever the universe has to offer, but please, no transformation.
It's not me. Is, the
Okay.
messaging.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, Scorpio.
I'm the vessel. Don't blame. Don't shoot the vessel. Okay. Protective nest.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you can't, they're not, okay.
Protective nest. Oh, that's so Gemini-Cancer Cusp.
There couldn't be a more perfect one. It's birds. They're flying in the sky.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
a nest. It's grounded. It's nurturing. It's mothering. There's a mother image on here.
Yes. So the way that these illustrations are, they're almost like Victorian kind of clothing, these characters. But she has this dress and this high collar, and the dress is like made of giant feathers. There's like an egg tucked into her, like a giant egg tucked into her dress, like a robin's egg. And then her hair is done up in this whole nest, and there's a nest at the top and a bird, and it's so pretty.
It's perfect.
Protective nest.
It encapsulates. We don't even really need to go further in this episode. I mean, we will, but
we will.
Don't
But
have to.
I love it when the card we pull just is literally illustrating
I know.
the exact energy that we're looking for and that we need.
Happens so often.
It makes me so happy.
Same.
Love it.
How cute. How perfect. All right.
Super perfect.
Love that for us.
So we have a why though segment.
We have a why though. We've got a why though.
We do. And I feel like it is a super slow week in the skies.
It is. Thank God.
Thank God.
Right?
Yes, so we can go into our protective nest and we can nest ourselves and not do... No, there's really not a ton going on this week, which really is a relief. It's obviously like busy weeks, and then this is a slow week.
Yeah,
so
this is a slow week.
The one thing that I wanted to sort of put a little highlight on is June 15th, Mercury will square Saturn.
Okay.
And that's a little bit of a so squares have a reputation, rightfully so, of being a difficult energy, a difficult aspect.
Right.
Because they're sort of in this locked in, like, squaring kind of position, right?
Yes.
So when we think about Mercury, the energy of Mercury being this quickness, this dexterity, this sort of verbal communication, and it's sort of in like a standoff with Saturn. I would not want to be in a standoff with Saturn, personally, because Saturn is about rules and foundation and very stodgy and very serious, right? Like we have this little like professor image for Saturn. So you can kind of see how these energies wouldn't really mix easily to begin with. True. And so they're kind of having a little face-off. So what you might end up seeing is the day being slow and stuck. You might feel tongue-tied. You might see people around you maybe communicating inauthentically.
Okay.
So you just want to kind of keep your ears open, your eyes open for that. And I would just say be non-reactive. Just let it be. Let that square sort of face off and slowly shift apart as these always do.
Yeah.
And then after that, you can gain some clarity, gonna see what's up.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah,
We can be
not too
mindful of
bad.
that,
Not
though.
too
Not
bad.
too bad.
Slow week, not too bad.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you got? You got anything else?
Yeah, there's a couple things. There's some stuff, Saturn's doing a lot. I feel like Saturn's doing a lot, but it's
Saturn's doing
okay.
a lot.
Saturn is going retrograde June 17th. But
Right after this.
Right after this, but in Pisces.
Yeah.
So, Pisces is going to soften that energy. Not to say, a whole lot, because, Saturn is still, like we just described, it's that taskmaster planet, and is still going to bring that sort of hard edge. But you know what? Sometimes you need a hard look at how you're spending your energy, how you're sort of showing up for yourself, how you're treating yourself. What are these attachments and these patterns and these things you've been doing around that? And Saturn will help you to kick that habit and be okay, this is done. You need to just stop it.
Well, and especially when we think about Saturn going into Pisces being that beautiful, soft, collective, unconscious, and sort of, that can be frustrating for Saturn to have to filter through, but that filtering will let it get back to you in a way that is maybe really actually nurturing and helpful.
Yep.
Instead of being that harsh Saturn way.
So you can confront those hard things that you need to do, but it's softened up a little bit.
Yes, I love that. That's great. Very good. Very good. Yeah. Anything else of import? I mean, obviously, there's always things. We're saying it's a slow week for the major stuff. There's always things.
There's a new moon coming.
Oh, yay. Love new moon.
June 18th, new moon in Gemini.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Love a new moon. We love a new moon. So you start fresh, release the things that haven't been serving you in the ways that you've been communicating. I feel like a lot of it is communication.
We are in Gemini season.
Yeah, so what you said and these things, it's a lot of communication stuff. So I think the overall advice is think twice before you do, say, react, whatever, and just good advice.
Yes.
Period.
And so always, do your new moon ritual, set your intentions, and as we move through the rest of Gemini season and into Cancer season, things are going to be shifting. Things are going to be changing.
Yeah, you might need to readjust those boundaries. So start thinking about what you are eventually going to want to do in terms of that after that new moon.
Give it some thought.
Yes.
Okay. No, this is good. Good why, though. I like it.
I love it.
Okay. But
Here
now.
we go.
Ooh, are we ready for this?
What the cusp?
What the cusp? Are we ready for Gemini-Cancer Cusp?
I think we have to be ready.
We definitely are ready because we have a whole page written about it.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually super excited about this because it's... Okay. Gemini-Cancer Cusp is called the Cusp of Magic.
It's so cool.
Magic. It's just so nice. And so for me, there's a lot of things that tie into why it's called that. But for me, the main thing of why it's called that is because of the elements that are involved here.
Yeah.
We have air and we have water.
Yeah.
And they're both flowing and moving. And I feel like it's a very complementary, compatible, almost magical meshing of these energies.
Absolutely. I had that all throughout my notes. It's that magical meshing. That's a lot of alliteration. I love it.
Yes.
Great.
Major magical meshing.
Major magical meshing. So good.
Yes. I was trying to come up with a triple letter thing, but I couldn't, and so I just...
And then it just happened.
Magically, it just happened.
Magically it did. It was just bestowed upon you and all of us. How lovely.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. It was throughout my notes this is so different from the other cusp periods that we've talked about, where there's so much fraught energy and power struggle and whatever. That's not here.
No.
That's not here.
No, it is not here at all. So the Gemini-Cancer Cusp sort of falls in the few days before and the few days after Cancer season officially begins, which is on the first day of summer, roughly June 21st. So we're looking at couple of days before that, the 18th, 19th, 20th, up through maybe, obviously 20, 21, 22, 23
maybe.
Getting up into there. So this is the cusp period that we're looking at. So I want to also say one of the first things that I usually like to look at or mention is thinking about the astrological wheel being a life cycle.
Right.
So as you know, if you watch all the episodes, we've moved up through the life cycle. And I love this one too because it really fits with this magic concept that the Gemini-Cancer Cusp is basically like your 21st birthday.
Yeah.
Magical times.
Magical. You're young.
You're young. You're an adult, but you're not like I just turned 18 kind of adult.
No.
You're like well into the beginning of your adulthood.
Yep.
You're a real adult, but it's still fun. Things are special.
Yeah.
You've had some of your firsts, but you haven't had all of your firsts.
Yeah, not even close.
Which is really amazing.
That's lovely.
Your first job, your first like big romance maybe.
Sure.
It's just a time of really expanding and celebrating. I think the 21st birthday, I mean, it can get out of hand in certain ways, but it's really one of those big celebration birthdays.
Yeah.
And one of the last ones that a lot of people have until maybe you hit 30 or 40 or some of those milestone ages. It's the last of the major milestones at the beginning of life.
Yeah, that's so true. It's so fun. And like you're an adult, like you said, you're an adult, but you're not an adult with super, super adult expectations. Like people will still say like, oh my God, they're a baby. They're 21.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is so great.
I mean, when I was 21, I would probably have been like, oh, shut up. You don't know anything.
Exactly.
But I'm like, no, it's a compliment.
It's a compliment.
Like,
take it.
Yes. Take that. Like, you're not expected to know everything, and you're still allowed to be a little naive and to be a little bit magical.
Yes. And in your feels.
Yes, and in your feels and excited about things and getting to do things. Yeah, so it's like that life cycle analogy is always so fitting, and I feel like this one's really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it. It's great. It's a very, very interesting and wonderful combination of things. You've got that Mercury energy and moon energy, and both of those together are amazing. You have that like quick-witted expressiveness, that wittiness, that humor, but then underneath that is that pensiveness, that really like consideration and empathetic like aspect, and like those two things together are magical things.
Definitely. And I think it's also interesting, the moon and Mercury are the two bodies that are closest to the Earth that are orbiting, or that we're orbiting along with, you know. So it's just kind of neat, you know. It's like a very cozy kind of energy.
That's true. It is cozy. Oh, that's so cute.
Yes.
Love it.
And I feel like in the same way that the air and the water work with the Mercury and the moon, you know, just sort of, it's a like harmonious combining. And all of the cusps are two different energies merging and sort of, not merging, but transitioning, I guess is a better word. And I feel like there's no conflict really in this transition.
No.
It's like the one's flowing in and the one's flowing out, and they're both like, it's fine.
It just kind of like spills over. Like it lends itself, because you're having the zodiacal shift at the same time you're having the seasonal, like the meteorological shift.
Yes.
From spring into summer. And that's such a like, that's a lovely, blooming, growing, expanding energy. It's not like transitioning into like winter where it's like everything's dying and it's like a cold snap. It's not like that. It's just continuing, you know, into just like lushness and beauty. And there's like a giving over rather than like a struggle.
Yeah, and I feel like you can barely tell.
Yeah.
It's just like suddenly you're like, oh, it's summer. You know?
Oh my
it's
gosh,
like
so true.
Suddenly it's summer. It's not like that spring, like, you know, in like a lion and out like a lamb. Like, you know, that Aries Taurus cusp that we've talked about, that like real power struggle with letting go of that energy. This is so beautiful and flowing. So how does the person who's born in this cusp period embody all of this? I think what you see is a person who is effortless.
Yes.
Who is inspired.
Oh, yeah.
Who is devoted. They're profound. And I feel like this person has a soft glow. This is not the person who like bounds into a room with, you know, that fire energy of like announcing themselves. They're not the person that kind of steadfast hangs on like that earth energy, like here I am. It's just this soft kind of presence. Here I am.
Yeah, that literal glow. That is so true. Like and I feel like that's really that Gemini expressiveness of like, this is just authentically who I am and I'm letting it shine. And then that Cancer sensitivity that tempers that so that it's not too much. Like, they're communicators and they're expressive, but they're also listeners and they're also receptive. So they're not barging in like that. They're just the perfect amount of themselves, but allowing others to be themselves as well.
Yes, and I think even drawing out from others that true selfhood, and really being an example of that and allowing other people to be that as well.
Yes, I think that, like you said, they're inspired. I think they're also inspirational in that way. Like, people can look to that and be like, I want to be like that. I want to embody that spirit. You know, I want to be like that for myself and for other people too.
Yes, and I feel like, because of all of this, they are really pulled along in their lives by romance. And romance, I don't necessarily mean the concept of romance like relationship-wise.
Right. Like a romantic ideal.
Yes, like a romantic ideal of like maybe how to live a life of beauty and value, or how to be like an artist or express things that are profound to them. It's a blend of that airy and light with the deep and sensitive, that sort of romantic approach to life. And I think because of that too, they can be sort of prone to getting really caught up in those types of experiences.
Sure.
Or even caught up a lot in relationships with people.
Absolutely. It's making me think of the manic pixie dream girl trope. Like, a manic pixie dream girl is a Gemini-Cancer cusp for sure.
Totally. Well, what is that though?
It's a trope that's in film where there's sort of this like quirky girl.
Yeah, she's sort of maybe sometimes like ethereal and a little bit like on the periphery, but then
she wears like wacky colors, or she listens to offbeat things or something, and but she has a very romantic kind of view of life, very offbeat, different. And then there's gonna be a character, often in like older films and stuff, it would be a male character, but it could be anybody, who really gets like infatuated by this person and just sees like everything in this person. And it can go a few different ways with how she sort of responds to that infatuation and that energy. And there's like different films I'm thinking of in which that's present. Like Garden State is like one of them that I think is like Natalie Portman's kind of that character, or like anything with Zooey Deschanel.
Yes, exactly. Like 500 Days of Summer.
Yes, exactly. Or like even like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which is a different sort of take on it, and I think a deeper, more impressive take on it. But there is that kind of trope of that, and she's kind of like a I'm not like other girls girl, and with the male gaze, it's a little bit problematic and kind of annoying. But with another, like a nuanced perspective, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, and it's kind of this concept of somebody maybe not being aware of how special they are, and someone else recognizing that in them, which is like kind of the part where it gets whack. Or, the sort of other version of that where it's like she does know how special she is and no one else is really recognizing that.
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, I really think, yes, that is sort of like a, literary or film, like, sort of trope that illustrates this energy. I totally agree with you.
Yeah,
I think
just dawned on me when you were describing it.
Yeah, no, it's really good. And this person is they're a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah.
And that can be also problematic, that lacking that fire sort of intuition and lacking that sort of earth groundedness. Absolutely. Again, they can get swept away and carried along by things. So the advice, I think, becomes like, hold on to yourself. Don't get lost in the magic and the romance. Yeah. Really hold on to who you are and make sure you're honoring that first.
Absolutely. Yeah, it can be, I can see that, like, really having that empathy and sort of that romantic ideal. And so I think sometimes these people probably place a lot of importance on how other people are feeling.
Yes.
And how other people are emoting and how that's affecting them. And I think that they're not always super in touch with what's going on inside or really able or willing to express that outwardly.
Definitely. And it's interesting because I think that's where you see definitely that Gemini air of communication and that prioritizing being sort of not taken away, but the Cancer, the other energy coming in and sort of muting that a bit more.
Sure.
So that they're not just out there, like, in contrast to the Taurus Gemini cusp, you know, just talking and emoting and putting everything out there into the world and, like, you know, sowing all the seeds and all of that stuff. So,
right, absolutely.
You know, I always love making those sort of contrasts, too, because it also tells you how dynamic and interesting Gemini is in and of itself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we have talked a lot about Gemini recently, so
there's
no shortage of content.
It's their season.
It's their season.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are the reason for the season.
They're like, yes, we are. I love that.
This season, anyways.
So great. Yeah. Wow. Well, what an interesting, fascinating, manic pixie dream girl.
I do want to name a couple of celebrity birthdays within this cusp that I thought were really illustrative.
Love it.
So one of them is Meryl Streep.
Oh, wow.
And I think what we see with her is clearly being this tremendous actor, the ability, that very Cancer ability to, like, emote and empathize and take on,
100.
you know, the embodiment of these characters, and also that Gemini sense of, like, communicating that, like, that's her skill, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think she, as a person, she seems very effortless.
Yeah,
and, like,
she does.
She almost doesn't care that she's Meryl Streep. Yeah. That's my impression.
Yeah,
she's like, oh, what? Yeah, I guess. You know, like, she's not wearing this as some big, grandiose identity. It's like,
absolutely.
just who she is.
Yeah, she's like...
Like, she puts her glasses on when she's, like, reading a thing at the Oscars, you know? Like, that type
she's
of
like,
stuff.
I'm just a person. Like, this is just me.
Yes.
And everybody kind of recognizes how special I am, and I kind of know, and that's fine, and we're good.
And I'm just trying to be out here. Like, it's fine. Yeah.
What's her birthday?
I believe it's the 20th.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not 100% sure. I didn't write down the exact date.
So she's like a Cancer-tinged Gemini-ish kind of energy.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Correct.
That's interesting because she has those emotions, so she can, like, get in touch with the characters and emote, like you were saying. But, like, it's translating and filtering through that, like, that mind part, like the
100%.
Gemini part.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's intellectual. It's not just emotive.
Yes, and that makes sense because she's on, like, that side of things.
Yes. Okay, so that's a good one. Another one, and this one's sort of, I feel like it's a little bit specialty, but Dr. Alfred Kinsey.
Oh, Kinsey.
So for people who are not familiar, he was really the one of the pioneers, I guess. I was going to say originator, but I wouldn't say originator. But one of the pioneers in the field of human sexuality. Yeah. And not an unproblematic person.
Right.
But really, again, pioneered this field that was very, I mean, it's really about having ecstatic experiences and sort of that Gemini sense of cataloging these things and putting an intellectual scientific eye on these human experiences and the depth of human experiences that people don't usually talk about.
Yeah, and like the taboo nature of these certain things, but literally like asking like your common average person.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, so that was an interesting one to me.
Yeah.
A couple others just to name. Lionel Richie. Who just freaking listen to a Lionel Richie song.
Yeah.
Just do us all a favor.
Yeah.
Listen to a Lionel Richie song.
Please do so.
I mean,
we were just talking about Lionel Richie.
I love Lionel Richie.
We're literally just having this conversation.
Yeah, and like in case you don't know, it's Nicole Richie's dad. And there's actually a really sweet story of how she came into their family. Like, he saw her and she was not with a family. Like, she was on stage performing and he saw her somehow. I don't know the exact details, but he just like kind of fell in love with her and said, I want to adopt this little girl. And she didn't have anywhere to be, I guess. And so he did. He's brought her in. I feel like it's very Gemini-Cancer Cusp energy.
Totally.
Like just seeing this little person and being like, oh, I need her in my life. I can help her. I can be there for her, you know?
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, so it's kind of sweet, you know, like that. But also his music's just,
it's amazing. Yeah. His other daughter just got married too. And I mean, that wedding style, let me tell you, like, yes, her beauty, like, this is a tangent, but her beauty was gorgeous. Her, like, kind of coral, like, blush look, iconic.
Yeah, I don't know when it's her birthday, but
I don't know. Focused on her dad right now.
We're trying to.
We're trying to. I tried to mention that.
He's also like, just talk about my daughters, don't talk about me. I don't care.
He probably would.
He doesn't
be
care.
Like that. That's so cute.
He doesn't care. Okay, the last one that I want to name, and I feel like this person, even out of all the people that I already mentioned, really embodies this energy.
Let me hear it.
Lana Del Rey.
Oh, man.
Right?
Yes, like just singing about cigarettes.
Summertime
and
sadness and, you know.
I did coke in the stall and...
Well, but not only that, it's like, you know, this man is ruining her life over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You know?
Sensual and just dramatic and sort of nebulous and... Yeah, wow.
And I think she's an artist and I love her, and I'm not saying that her true personality is what is reflected in these songs. Like, I don't know that.
No.
But I think it kind of starts to get to the don't get lost in the romance. Don't lose yourself in the magic
100%.
of what you're feeling.
Yeah, because, there have been some things with her in the past. So I can see now that you're saying that going that direction. But I think she's learned from those things, and I think she's grown from them. But
definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, that's a really, really good one. Those are all really good.
Yes. So this is a good cusp.
One might say it's magical.
It is. I would say that.
We would, and
in fact,
we did.
We already said it like 29
Multiple
times. So if you didn't hear it, watch again. You'll hear it.
Yeah.
Anyways, this was a really fun episode.
Super
really
fun.
Good.
Loved it.
I loved it too. So until next time.
Stay witchy, friends.
And stay dumb.
Dumb Witch Club is written and produced by us, Ashley Sidner
and Jackie Gerard at the Dumb Witch Clubhouse in Orange County, California.
Produced and edited by Matt Heinemeyer. Creative Director and Culture Consultant Violet Turner.
Original music by Ashley Sidner. And look us up on all your favorite social media platforms, including Patreon.
Until next time, stay witchy, friends.
And stay dumb.